Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's episode of What the Health Just Happened, where we talk about all things healthcare, community, business, and life. The goods, the bads, the ups, the downs, the lefts, the rights, and everything in between. Trey, we are so fortunate to have on a variety of guests, way smarter than we are, to share their business, life, expertise, all the things. I get excited for some guests. I get fired up. You try to play it cool. Second time joining us, he was our 100th episode guest. I'd like to consider you a friend at this point. If we're not there, we're getting there. Patric Young, I don't have to go into the details, the sporting history. Anyone who does not know you is living under a rock. Welcome back to What the Hell Just Happened. Let's party.
I'm very happy to be back. Man, let's get it going. So much to talk about.
I don't even know. You've been on fire lately, right?
I've been blessed, man. Just being in rooms with a lot of people that have taught me and just really impacted my heart. And, you need that affirmation to get that fire going sometimes.
I would say you're on fire. So you sent me a link. You recently spoke at a church. Was it Alabama?
Yeah, that was cool. Cornerstone Church in Anniston, Alabama. That was awesome. And
I watched it live. You have a gift. I'm going to really compliment you for a while. I'm sorry now if he's like, this is awkward. You're just complimenting me. You had that. We talked about training camp.
Yep.
How was that? You said it was epic.
Oh man, yeah. John Gordon had training camp, and I really hope that he does it again every year. It's really interesting. The first time I was introduced to this book, Training Camp, my mom got it for me when I was in high school, and I didn't read it.
It just sat on the.
I didn't read it. Yeah. I didn't read it, and it had like a list of things that he has in the book, like the best do this, the best do that, and I'm like, are you sure you put that in my room? And Coach Donovan, he has a friendship with John Gordon, and he sent us some books that we read that of Training Camp, and it really impacted my life at that time. And I formed a relationship with John Gordon as well, and we've been friends. And I mean, dude, the people that were in that room that he brought to the camp, you got Ben Newman, Jordan Montgomery was the MC, Dabo Sweeney opens it up, Mac Brown, Buzz Williams is there, Sean McVay, Kevin O'Connell, Eddie George, 10, Jim Rome, 10. Who else? It was Corey Close, the head coach for UCLA Women's. That was pretty awesome. Seeing her as well, and her perspective. And I just felt so blessed that every single one of those people that were on stage, they pointed to how their faith in Jesus has helped them to get to where they are.
Let's go right to faith, right? I like to talk about it. Some people are uncomfortable. Did you grow up in a family that was faith-based? Like, was that your upbringing, or is that a recent journey?
Yeah, we grew up in a faith-based, and, my experience, we went from one church to another, just three jumps or two jumps. And I just remember the first church that we were at when I was really young, a lot more emotion, a lot more interaction, kind of Baptist, kind of like talking back to the preacher and whatnot, but not exactly that. Then the next church that we end up going to, take all emotion. I would say, and I'm not going to name them or what, the people that are listening are going to know. It's like, this sect of Christianity is the most Catholic-like sect in or denomination of the Christian faith that I had ever been a part of.
Really? In
terms of, outside of the repetition.
Yeah.
Outside of the repetition, it's very stoic, very emotionless, very like no instruments, no clapping, no raising of hands. Yeah. I mean, and then I'm so fortunate and glad that, I was able to, meet some people that did things a little bit differently than I did in terms of how they worshiped, how they saw God. And I was like, I just think it makes sense. I just think about if you got married and you told your wife, I love you only on the day that you got married and there was no emotion after that, how long and how well do you think that marriage would go?
Not healthy.
Or if you're like, hello, wife, I love you.
Oh man!
Obviously, not a lot of kids wouldn't be getting married this way, right?
Yeah. Hello, son. Well done. So the speaking. Go ahead, Trey. Sorry. Give me a wave if you.
I saw that you got to do. You did a podcast with Joby Martin.
Yeah. Recently. Yeah, that was cool.
Go, man.
Yeah, man.
I was jealous,
dude. This was so crazy. So, on my trip to Anniston, We're running a little. I'm a bad traveler. I'm one of those guys. I don't miss, but I'm never there. Like there's always a little bit of tightening, if I should say,
Fair enough.
to get there.
The windows closed. The windows.
It's always
barely
closed.
open.
So they're already boarding the plane. I get there a little bit late. I'm like, it doesn't matter because I can get on first or I can get on last. It really doesn't make a difference. And I hear someone say, Patric Young. And I'm like stuck in a weird position. I say, I hear my name. I can't see who it is. And it's Pastor Joby. And my man be looking good. He's got his hat with his beard, looking good. And, it was crazy. It worked out that I sat with him on our flight up to Atlanta and we got a chance to connect and talk. And, just one of those people that, they don't have to say much. You don't have to be around them long. You just feel like, dang, man, I just want to be better.
Yeah. We all need more. Everyone needs more Joby in their life, I think. That was cool. I saw that picture too. This is a random story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and he hooked it up that me and him and Denny Thompson could get together. And man, that podcast Built for More has been awesome. Just learning how these athletes are. Gosh, I mean, he's had so many I didn't know Anthony Richardson's voice was so deep.
Oh yeah, hey, he's real deep,
man. Crazy deep voice, and
man.
it's just really cool seeing how these guys are, and I can't wait for them to have their first woman guest. I don't know who that's going to be. Maybe we need to nudge them to make that happen.
Let's stay on the faith conversation. When you were playing, like, what percentage of athletes do you think, like, genuine believers versus not? I think it's growing.
I think it's growing. Yeah. Like you can't deny, like, it's one of the craziest or coolest things I should say I've seen. Ohio State this year, football. I mean, as vocal. I mean, they're wearing shirts going through their walk. Jesus won. And they're part of, I'm not sure they're a part of Athletes in Action or fellowships of Christian athletes, but they were standing at a fountain, star players too. Not like this matters, but just to break things down, because as human beings, we levels matter way more to us than they matter to God. But anyways, these star players are spreading the gospel, and they're baptizing people on the campus at Ohio State.
That's a win.
Dude, I would have never imagined seeing that.
Do you remember
at Florida when I was there? I couldn't have imagined.
Well, I do want to go back to Florida in a second. Do you remember DeMar Hamlin, that when he had a cardiac arrest? That was a moment to me. Like they pan out cameras, but you have two teams, full NFL franchises, just kneeling and praying.
I know.
And I think that moment, and it was on TV. No one changed camera angles. I just remember that moment so specifically. Like look at this. This is a special moment.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay, we'll go back to UF. I kind of want to talk about dogs too. Like, no dogs? Are you shaking your head at me? Joey's over here shaking his head. Who was, like, besides you? Who was a dog? Like you play with them like this man is a dog.
About the Bulldogs.
No,
yeah, that's what I thought.
No, there was no bulldog talk here.
What do you mean by a dog?
Like just grinded, gritty, 100% effort all the time.
Either played with him or against him.
Jacob, I would say, Jacob Kurtz, walk on. One of my closest friends, from my time in Florida. He was the most humble dog.
Yeah.
Like, he made us better as a team, because there were so many times human nature would kick in. We got practice and we got the starters versus the second team, and we just need to get 2 stops or 2 scores or whatever, or 3. We need to get 3 in a row, and we get 2. He comes in, gets offensive rebound, or like dives on the floor and takes a charge, and you're like, it's almost like he was dismantling our comfort. That's what he was doing.
How applicable is that in life?
He was dismantling, and it was in the way to it made us better. It was so easy for us to be like, all right, like, we know what we need to do, but you still got to do it.
Yeah.
You got to execute it, and to respect basketball, to respect the game, part of that is giving it your 100% attention in the present moment. and not making each experiment. Oh, we've already done that.
Yeah. We've done that enough times.
We've done that enough times.
Sounds like life. Go ahead, Trey.
Oh no, you just talking about being president in the moment. We got NBA playoffs going
Oh,
on
yeah.
right now, which honestly, I'm not the big.
OKC, baby.
That's what you're going
team.
for?
Well, Mark Daignault,
Okay.
the head coach, he was a graduate assistant when I was at Florida.
Oh, shout
Ain't that
out,
crazy?
dude.
Ain't that crazy?
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's close with Billy Donovan.
Yeah, he's close to the coach. Isn't that crazy, guys? Like,
He was there at OKC when Billy was there.
he was there. He was he was an assistant, and then he was the G League head coach. And after Coach Donovan, I think, finished up his 5th or 6th year at OKC and took the job at with the Bulls.
Yep.
That's when they took him as the head coach. And he's just won Coach of the Year last year. And I know this episode's going to come out a little bit later, but hey, them boys are up right
I was
now.
going to say, by the time
For
this
real,
airs,
dude.
they might be. They might,
boys are up.
Yep.
And they're young, correct?
Yes.
What do you think separates them? Just a young bunch. Why are they able to get it done?
I think the first thing, I think they have a fantastic owner and general manager. So a lot of people forget that Paul George was at OKC for a short stint.
Yep.
So when the Thunder traded with the Clippers for Paul George, the Thunder got 5 first-round draft picks
Damn.
and Shea Alexander. He's not the
Yeah.
MVP. He's not the MVP.
Not-
There's no way.
You don't think he'll be MVP?
Who's
So,
the MVP? This is
Yeah.
good.
So Giannis,
Stud.
which is great.
Yeah.
He's averaging 31 points, 11 rebounds for the season. Oh man, those are some pretty awesome stats.
Not bad.
Shea Alexander led the league in point scoring, 32 points, 32.7. I watched it this morning. So these stats are 32. That's it. Just he led the league in scoring. Jokic, 29 points a game,
Joker.
12 rebounds, 10 assists for the season.
That's what he
insane.
averaged for the season.
For the season.
That's insane.
He averaged a triple-double?
Yes.
Wow.
What about?
I didn't realize that.
Bro.
How about Brunson?
You can't not make him the MVP.
Yeah,
It's a triple double.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
I'm glad. It's a great segment. You asking about Jalen Brunson. Actually, you'll pick up where I'm taking this. So Jalen Brunson, he was part of that Villanova team. He stayed all 4 years. Stayed all 4 years. He 2 championships. Great group of guys that on those teams that made it to the NBA. There's Dante DiVincenzo, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart. Crazy, 3 of those guys. They were all on the same team at one point,
Which is
which is nuts. So the NBA model for a while was like, this guy's been in the league or been in college too long. Like, is he really going to be able to help us? It's not even the dynamic of, can this guy help us now? And is he really a winner? Like, Jalen Brunson was a dog in college.
Talk about dogs. Yeah, he was.
And then he does get his shot, and he has to build himself up because he's not an automatic starter. He's got Luka that's in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Dominates. And they say, hey, we don't think he's going to be the guy. Goes on to New York. He does what he's doing right now and gets paid. Like, you don't hear a lot of stories of guys like that. Like, he had to earn it every step of the way. And you can't not cheer for the guy. You might hate the Knicks, but you can't not cheer for Jalen Brunson.
That is so accurate. I am not a Knicks fan, but I love that dude. That's good kind of transition to NIL stuff we talked about off the air. That Villanova team, that was pre-NIL time, right? Imagine if that team was existing now. Like, what are do you have opinions on it? What's good, what's bad, or be like, I don't want to talk about it?
No. I wish I was tight with someone that was an attorney that's keeping their ear close to all the ground of all this decision stuff, because 2 things I think need to happen. And I agree with this wholeheartedly. One, there needs to be, like in the NBA, like in the MLB, like in the NFL, a certification process for you to be an agent, to be an agency to represent players. Like, I think it's better for the kids. It's better for the teams. It's just a structure, because it's not saying that your mom or your cousin can't become your agent one day, but like, there's a process to do it. Like, look at the whole if you're not aware, the whole Jaden Rashada situation.
That's a bad one.
What a disaster.
That's a bad one.
Disaster, man.
Does
anybody want him?
No.
I
Absolutely.
doubt it.
And then
I'm not even sure he's on a team
the
right now.
second thing to help with the chaos, we either go back to, you got to sit out a year into
If you
transfer,
transfer, yeah.
or wherever you go, you got to stay there at least 2 years. Stay there at least 2 years. That way it gives coaches a little bit of stability. They don't have to worry about, because the problem is they have to worry so much about recruiting their players that they already got to stay so much now. And if I already got you locked into a, 2-year contract, I can spend my energy elsewhere working on, I don't know, basketball skills.
Oh, that kind of matters. See, so, you do stuff with JU, right? Obviously, you're announcing on SEC Network. Do you announce JU games? What's the time?
Yeah, no, it was cool. I did JU games this year and made some really good friends. Matt Chandler was a guy I really Matt Harris, a buddy of mine that I got to do a lot of games with. Scott Bacon. Yeah, JU, they just need, you hate to say it, after being at training camp and all these great policies and standards and all this stuff that the coaches are saying, Mac Brown's like, sometimes you just need better players.
Okay. This is a point.
Sometimes you just need better players. I don't tell you.
So UNF, Coach Driscoll is openly talking about this.
They just lost a guy.
They'll start to get talent, and then they transfer because there's more money. So like, what do alumni from JU or UNF try to create a collective? I don't know.
Much they can do, man. Well, look, Stetson last year or 2 seasons ago, they made the tournament. They lost 80% of their scoring, and they were one of the last teams in the ASUN this year because, like,
what do you do?
Would any of us tell our kids to not take an opportunity to make a bunch of money and like a better opportunity? None of us would say like, no, you shouldn't go take that better opportunity at that bigger school. But like, what the trail that is blazed or you're burning, it sounds like burning the ship.
Burn the boats.
You burn the boats.
You
burn the boats. Yeah. And I just think about real life and how real life actually is.
Yeah.
You can't just run away from your problems and switch. You can try.
Were you the same from 18 to 22? Were you the same person then you are now? I know
not even close.
It's hard to even imagine being the same person, right? Trying to or like even trying to take on the other perspective you've had in the past. It's hard to like, we've all we've experienced a lot of things. We've read some books. We've met people, gone through some training camps, experience being, going through some heartache through all the time, and is giving, what would you say, a perspective you didn't have 10 years ago that you have now?
I think kids change stuff for me. Like now I would do everything, anything and everything. I would never say no. Now it's like, that could physically hurt me if I jump off that bridge into the intercoastal, right? Maybe I shouldn't try this backflip on a wakeboard. Like, so there's a safety component, but also like we talk about money financially.
Yeah.
You do dumb stuff with money that now I'm like, I got to pay for a wedding eventually. My daughter, kids' cars, college tuition.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it, but I mean, there's a long list of things that I would,
But like, how did you learn that process of, cause would you say you've already had the art of saying no, or even like, cause I hate it, man. Like the opportunities come and I want to do them, but like, if it doesn't make sense, I'm like, I can't, I'm not getting on a plane to do it. Like there's plenty of people that can step in and impact, you want it to make sense for your life because like I'm sure you burnt the candle at both ends a few times before you figured out like, all right, I got to change some things over here.
Just last week. No, okay. But you like saying no is a superpower, which I don't have that superpower that well, but like how often are you saying no to things? I can't even fathom how often you're asked to speak at a church, an event, all this.
It's a little bit better. And I think, as I've had to, cause I had to live with my parents these last few after my accident. And it's a temporary situation, but when being an independent adult and going back to a situation where life is better when everyone is on the same page. Doesn't that sound so simple? But like, how hard is it on an actual basis to like we are selfish human beings. You guys got kids, like you see them, you got to teach them to share. We got to teach them to say thank you. We got to teach them to be nice. Like, obviously there's traits that they do have that, you don't have to teach them, but there's, I'm fostering a dog right now.
I was going to say, talk about dogs. Let's talk about dogs.
The dog just has no training. It has no, guidance, before. And it just sucked. It's a very sweet, nice dog, but without knowing what it should and shouldn't do. I mean, the dog's just jumping everywhere, and we are putting him in a crate as soon as we can.
Yeah. You said something too. I love. There's so many lines, right? They're all from books. I always say nothing's original, but simple and easy are not the same thing, right?
Right.
The concept of what you're saying is very simple, but to apply that for whatever reason as humans, it's just not easy.
I think what helps me is I'll ask myself, what's the right thing to do? What's the right thing? Because it might be a simple phrase or a simple whatever, but as you said, it takes an action. And if that thing is the right thing to do, like nothing gets in my mind of saying, nah, you don't need to do that. I'm like, that's the right thing I need to do. All right. But like, if you don't have that self-awareness at times, your conscience will try everything to convince you like, nah, you can get away with that. Or like, it's not that big of a deal. No, you shouldn't call them and apologize. Like, and then before you know it, like it starts building up votes in your life and your character being the wrong person, the person you don't want to be.
Yeah.
Right. And because I think every little time we move that needle a little bit forward in doing the right thing, we stack up wins, we stack up like character, reputation, being respected by the people that love us the most and know us the most. That was how John Gordon described success.
Before the commercial break, because second half, we'll definitely talk some healthcare. We could maybe talk trash, maybe not. Got to talk about this upcoming event. It's the 3-year anniversary of the accident this June. We're going to hit that pretty hard. Again, I'm thrilled what you got going on. How can we help? How can we support? Any shout outs before commercic break? My man Storm.
Shout out to my boy Storm.
Yep.
Shout out to my board. Shout out for the foundation. Pat Sickens and Alexis Lace. Gosh. Shout out to them Gator Boys saying hi.
Gator Boys saying hi. Oh, man. I'm slowly turning into a Gator fan. If my dad heard me say that out loud, he would be mortified.
Was that recorded?
That was live. Hey, we're going to talk about that basketball.
They're winning, dude. Let's go.
It is fun. Again, as long as it's not Miami, I'm all about it.
Well, shoot, and they beat the heck out of the Gators last year, so you can kind of like, oh wait, no, you probably don't want that.
No,
sorry.
I want
Other way, sorry.
It's all good.
That was so embarrassing.
No,
anyways, that was so embarrassing.
If I embarrass myself on, I don't know, every hour and a half, Joey, what do you think?
Pretty much.
Patrick Young, that's what the hell just happened. Welcome back to the second half of What the Hell Just Happened. If you're catching us here on the radio station, good news is you can catch the first half of the episode on your favorite podcast platform or YouTube under What the Hell Just Happened. We have, I would say, a legend, and I'm going to call you my friend whether you think so or not. Like, we're buds now.
Yeah.
Patrick Young, again, author, works for the SEC now. Just, to me, incredible human being. You are a special human, whether you realize that or not. So we appreciate you. First half, a lot of sports chatter. Some Jesus and God chatter, which I like. It was a blast. You can catch it on the podcast. If you didn't hear it here on the radio, healthy or not healthy, reading books.
So one of the healthiest things you can do.
Healthy or not healthy, reading the Bible.
Number
one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah, I can't even answer.
Healthy or not healthy, Miami Hurricane fans.
Oh man, I mean, is there anything worse you can do to yourself?
Not healthy.
Brightmeyer, not healthy. I called his name out.
Joey's chomping at the bit. Go ahead. Oh, you got one?
I got one.
Let's hear it.
So, we would all say that sports healthy, right? For the most part?
I would say yes.
Growing ball. Healthy or not healthy?
Growing ball?
Growing ball?
Groin.
Groin ball.
Groin ball. I'm
Groin.
gonna say that's unhealthy.
I
don't
even
know what it
this
is, but I say unhealthy.
I'm saying healthy. Let's go. What is it?
So, you have to, if those that are watching that can actually, you have to search this, and I'm sure we'll be able to find this. So,
I can't wait.
2 versus 2.
No.
That was game. If you and I were on teams, or we're against each other, we're on teams and you're on teams. You and I, we have to have our hands on our shoulders like this for until the round is over. These two have an unlimited amount of tennis balls that they're constantly
Just throwing
to try to hit you in the groin. And obviously a victory is if the other person just completely drops to the ground and they are unable to keep their...
I'm going healthy. This sounds hysterical. Healthy? Like it's not...
And you're not only pitchers. You got to switch when the round's over.
You can't throw the first one.
You got to be pitchers and catchers.
Again,
you could possibly hit your own teammate. It's a real thing.
I am messed up in the head. Groin ball. I'm going healthy. Which is, again, shows you how messed up I am. Hey,
dude, this is a real thing people sign up to do for fun.
Have you seen the slapping, healthy or not? Have you seen the slapping thing now? That's, or there's a new rugby one, these giant men.
And they run into each other.
One-on-one. I mean, again, like if Trey and I did that.
So I think we mentioned this in the first episode, our first one, that a traumatic event is classified as anything minimum 15 miles per hour and up.
The speed at which you collide.
Yeah, which you collide with a person or a thing.
Joey's chomping at the bit. I want to hear this.
Come on, Joey.
All right, healthy or not healthy, you kind of alluded to it. So back to your playing days. Other teams' fan bases.
Ooh.
In the moment.
But that's double-edged.
Let's hear it.
My fan base was great. They were extremely healthy. They did all the right things.
Yeah.
They did the research.
Yeah, other teams' fan bases.
Yeah, they're the worst. If they did the same thing, they're all unhealthy. No, it was one time we played against Missouri, and I think that was the only time I played there in my career. And I don't remember all the things they said. But oh my goodness, they were right because they're right behind the basket as you're warming up. And one thing I love about Missouri fans, they hate Kansas so much. They have that Mr. Brightside song they sing.
Yes, great
like,
song.
The band stops playing the song, and the fans they just keep singing. They don't need the music because they want to get in KU.
Oh yeah.
Let people know how they feel about Kansas.
I got that. We're doing this. We're going to talk about fan bases because these are just fun questions. Go ahead, Trey.
All right. So this is a random one, but what is something that your own fan base does that kind of gets under your skin?
That's a great question because people are so willing to point the finger and say them, they.
Yep.
Something that my fan base does sometimes. Well, we boo the heck out of our head coaches at times when I don't think that's loyalty. It's hard, man. It's hard to win. It's a small niche to become a successful head football coach. And I think the grace that we have they're ready to fire people like after a year or two.
Yeah. 2 max.
1 or 2 years. They're ready for you to get up out of there. Like,
is that all sports or just football? I feel like football
and basketball. It's gonna be the ones that make the most money, but more so football.
One more, healthy or not healthy.
Sorry. I love it. Healthy or not healthy all day.
Healthy or not healthy, will you be my bodyguard?
The song?
The song.
I don't know if that was around when he was playing.
Yeah, it was. The song, will you be my bodyguard? Dun, dun,
Dude, he
dun,
swore.
Dun, 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 dun.
Bum, bum, bum,
That's not the name of the
If you'll
song.
be my bodyguard,
It's not the name of the song.
I will be your long. We're all ever singing. I didn't know this. We got to look
That's
this.
not the
I
name.
don't know, but that's like from like Weekend at Bernie's.
I'm thinking of Bodyguard, Whitney Houston's Bodyguard movie, but we're going off the rail.
Well, the reason
Hashtag
conversation is not healthy.
But the reason I know I think I know that's not the song. I spoke at a freshman convocation a while back, and the band was behind us, and I was talking about there's going to be traditions here that you love, and one of mine is that song. Because I didn't know the name, I just did the dun, 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 dun. And I was like, "What's the name of that song?" And they didn't say, "Who's your body? Will you
if you be my bodyguard, I will be your long lost friend." That's the lyrics.
It's a UB40 song, right?
No,
oh my gosh, we're all
Can we rein this in? This is going.
Okay, sorry.
What about
bum 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 bum?
So
bum 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 bum.
What's it?
It's a Paul Simon song.
Paul Simon. That's definitely Paul Simon.
Call me Al.
You can call me.
You can call me Al.
Call me.
I was way off.
Sorry. All right, rein it in. Because I openly, I'm a Florida State fan, sometimes good or bad. I feel like we have one chant.
I know.
UF
But
has.
it's loud.
And it's dope. It looks pretty sweet.
It's
seminal.
Yeah.
The Gators have some of the coolest logos Chomps, Chance. I think
It's called the Swamp.
I'm not going to say this
dope.
on air. Actually, never mind. I was going to.
No, I just wonder, like, how do like these things get accepted, and like why do we not make more or more? Like the traditions part is great, but if you can make some new chants that get,
we're doing it right now.
no, we're not.
No, not Gators. This is about the Jags. You're going to like this. I'm
Oh,
telling
Jags?
you, we are
Okay.
starting.
I thought it was.
chant.
I'm sorry. I thought it was going Seminole. I'm like,
No. Hey, I won't. I wouldn't do that to you. I'm over here out here complimenting the Gators. I'm not going to get you to do the chop for me. Yeah, right. I'm more inclined to get backhanded. I do want to talk about other fan bases' fun chants. So the Jaguars, Duval, that's a big one. There used to be move those chains. That's gone. Thank goodness. So all these other cities, like Pittsburgh, when Freiermuth catches the ball, they're like, move. We're starting this right now. This is on camera. Every time BTJ catches a ball, the stadium goes, BTJ.
When's
Am I the only one
timing?
excited for this? Like,
No. I'm trying to get the time every time he scores.
Catches the ball.
Oh, every time he catches
every
it.
time Freiermuth catches the ball, you have players, every time they catch the ball, the whole
Eric,
stadium
No,
yells.
it will help.
BTJ. The whole
It'll
stadium
help
yelling that.
if the PA announcer does that.
Oh,
Like, dude,
If the PA announcer like that'll catch on
feed
so
that
quick.
man the ball.
That's it.
Like, hypes him up, hypes the team up. The whole stadium yelling that. Come on. We've never had you had Mojo.
Oh my
But,
gosh.
like, dude, you get it? You hear me, right?
I want
Does it make sense?
Like,
Sorry.
No,
We're
no,
going
no.
off
I like
the rails
where your
'cause we
head's
gotta talk
at,
about
but-
I like where your head's at. I just think there's a lot of things this home team could do that would improve a lot of things that they're just not going to do.
winning
we don't
games.
know what we're doing.
Winning games would be nice. I'm like ride or die Jaguars, and every year I get on that hype train. But we got some stuff happening right now that I'm excited for, and I just want a player that gets chanted that feeds.
let's
that.
just win first,
Okay.
boys.
Okay, before the serious stuff, other fan bases like LSU has a couple chants
Oh yeah.
that are inappropriate.
We're
but I
not
think
doing
there's-
that one.
Well, you
We're
know what
not
I'm
doing
saying?
that one. Yeah.
What are some when you go somewhere you're like, dang, that's real
One of
good.
my favorite is, and this is actually, we're doing this when the SEC baseball tournament's going. Texas A&M. Ball 5, ball 5, ball. Okay. So if a pitcher walks a guy, away team, they try to get in his head, and like, you're about to throw ball 5.
Oh,
You're about to throw ball 6.
I like that. Yeah.
I've heard them go up to like ball 12.
in a row.
Guy,
Oh, that's good.
12 balls in a row.
And you know that pitcher's up
And then, but this is the most ridiculous part. They clap for you when you throw a strike.
Really? That's
This is why you say sports will always be healthy. Fan base is like generational. You pass it down. That's so good. The bananas. We've done some stuff with the bananas. They're
Cool.
like,
The coach of the Bananas was at training camp.
really?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Did I mention that I regret not going to
I
that?
apologize.
Okay, we're gonna rein it in. Kind of. No, we'll go off the rails. That's what we do here. It's got to be fun. Big month coming up, June 29th specifically, but the month going up to it. Your foundation, it's the PY4 Foundation, Patric Young Foundation. What's the name of the foundation?
Yeah, the Patric Young Foundation.
Foundation.
And I think the first the questions that people ask when they hear foundation or whatever are, what's it about and why did it get started? So I'll start with the why it got started part. Most foundations that athletes or families or people start, it's due to something that's happened near and dear to them, to their heart, that there's a personal connection. Like I knew nothing about spinal cord injuries, knew nothing about I knew like healthcare can be crippling but like just the awareness of how many people are affected. So I was in a car accident June 29th of 2022. Did not have my seatbelt on, not healthy, obviously. It's not even just about, they have commercials now on TV about getting fined. If all I got was a fine,
Sign me up.
Right?
Yep.
So from that instance, being like this athlete, this independent guy that could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, as like, any normal average 30-year-old man should be able to do in terms of caring for themselves. I'm humbled to this position after having this accident where I fractured my T7 or T8, one of those two, I can't remember. And like, am told your life is going to look different from this. but I didn't know what that meant. Like, what is the process? Like the psychological part of it, of embracing the present when it just is such a dramatic change. Like, it's not like just breaking your arm where, like, life is like, yeah, you can't brush your teeth properly for the next 6 weeks or whatever. It's not like that. It's like, no, like there's an instant finality of like, you might not be able to do the things that you just did 3 hours ago. And in the process of getting built back up, and I'm so glad that you read this author, Ryan Holiday, The Obstacle is the Way. This is the first book I read when I was in the hospital. It's the first book I read when I was in the hospital. And I'm trying to remember who gave it to me. I wish I could shout him out. But this book made me embrace that in order to, because it's all about perspective. Like, if I look at what I'm going through as the path of me being, self-actualized or reaching my potential, then it's like a position of like, there's this excitement you can have with life. There's this level of the only limitations I'm putting on myself are the ones that I put on myself. Like, highly recommend, you and I both, everything from Ryan Holiday.
Him and John Gordon are my two favorite authors. It's so funny.
He just does a fantastic job of using, great applications and principles and stories of people that succeeded in how they approach things and the ones that really didn't. I think it's Lou Gehrig.
There's Lou Gehrig, there's past presidents, and current athletes past.
I hate the Yankees, but goodness gracious, I'm a huge Lou Gehrig fan.
Yep.
Like, nothing got in his way until it did. And he still, like, he never let comfort get in the way of showing up and doing the right things and being his best. And, I just was so blessed through the process of getting built back up to like embracing what's happened in my life, that I saw so many people that go through the same thing. They don't have any help, no family, no nothing.
I just have to chime in because I keep saying this. You are a beacon of hope and light for so many people. I think you know that, and you're so down to earth and so humble, and that is a gift from God, right? But other individuals that have no hope and no opportunity, which goes back to the foundation. Like, that's the point of it,
that's
right?
The point.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No.
You are. That's
the exact point. So my best friend, Andrew Mabini, he's the one that helped me come up with the logo and the motto. So it's a P and a Y, and you see in the Y of the foundation, it's like not connected to the P. And that little break is to signify a spinal cord injury, some type of break in the connection. And then there's a circle around it because we want to illuminate the path to wholeness. That it's so simple. We want to be a beacon of hope for people to, like, you know what? Things can turn. Like, there's a kid that I have been kind of, I don't know if mentoring is the right word, but like, he's 19 years old. He got shot in the neck, and I mean, just really tough upbringing. He has no one. And I'm just like, he's one of many people in the world that are like that. And obviously spinal cord injuries aren't as big and prevalent as cancer, but it doesn't mean it's not a niche that people are forgotten about and not seen. Like, there's so many fantastic organizations out there helping people with cancer. But in terms of, we all drive every single day. We all just this is a sad story. There was a kid, he went surfing, went to learn how to surf for the first time. And it's extremely rare, but he was out there so long, and that arch position of when you're on the paddle, it caused damage into his back where he became paralyzed. He did nothing wrong. He was out there just being a kid. And for one, if you don't have Jesus, I don't know where your light comes from, where your hope, where there's the belief that this situation is going to be redeemed, where there's a hope, like, having a community of people that, like, we call them corner toters. there's a story in the Bible where it talks about a man who was paralyzed. And what's so interesting about the story, it never really talks about the man's faith. It talks about the faith of the 4 friends. And they were willing, like, we look at that story and you can read it and it doesn't give you, like, how did they get that guy on the roof first? Like, he couldn't help. They have no stretcher. They have no lip. They might have a pulley system, but even if that's not easy.
Yeah, there wasn't a tri bar to pull up. There wasn't an escalator. There was, yep.
And then you brush by and read that, they opened a hole in the roof and lowered him down. That probably took them hours.
Mm-hmm.
But they were willing to do whatever they could to get this guy that needed help, that needed love in front. Like, who knows, this paralyzed guy, he probably given up. And I've run across people that have spinal cord injuries. They think my life is over. I'm never going to have a chance to be happy again. I'm never going to, I'm hearing this 19-year-old kid telling me he doesn't think he's ever going to meet someone to love, who's going to want to marry me. And it's heartbreaking, man. It sucks. And I just want to keep showing up, having opportunities like this to share with you and talk about it. Like, it gives me the hope, like, I have to keep showing up for people. And that's what this is about.
The event itself, right? We'll talk about dates. We'll share this in links and start distributing, right? So the actual event is called Rep to Rise, or Together We Rise. So Rep to Rise.
Yes, Rep to Rise.
I love this. Are you still doing the whole month workout? Teams of 6, 20 minutes a day. And then the 29th, that's the big one. 2 big workouts at Excel with Storm. Storm's also an
he ran you through the whole thing? Yeah.
Briefly, but I'm like, how do we... And then corporate sponsorships immediately, like, this is what we want to get out. Here's what it does. Like, you are impacting the world on so many levels.
Yeah.
And there's this coming up this month. What's
really cool, the idea first came to me like, hey, because my best friend, Alex Bodney, which he will be there on the 29th, he had the idea, I'm going to walk a mile talk about having a corner toter. I'm going to run or walk a mile every day until you walk again. Like, talk about a corner toter of a person. And his like determination with that, he recruited me. Hey man, I should get some people to pledge and sign up the month of June to do this with me. And that was last year. And he inspired this but then I was like, you know what? Not everybody can walk. The purpose of this is more this is not just about doing. This is not this is not meant to be a checklist of like, I've done this thing today, now I can go on. No, it takes 21 days for us to do something consistently, become a habit. When people are out walking or playing pickleball or on your bike or
groin ball,
playing groin ball. Ooh, I don't know how grateful.
Sorry.
No. But now, because I'm about to talk about like, I want you to be grateful and have gratitude and
not forget that.
Well,
take that line out.
They choose to do it.
I don't know if the groin ball players.
What's wrong with me? Keep going.
No, that's good. Because I did. I thought like, has anyone ever been grateful getting hit below the belt? Anybody here? Ever? Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. No.
So I want, so 629, we divided by 30. It's really close to 20 minutes a day. We want, move your body for 20 minutes a day. It is free to register. So we have some teams that have been made already. I was thinking like, I would love to have a What the Health Just Happened team on there. Tell people, hey, sign up, join this team. Yeah. And obviously we get to shout them out like, hey, this team raised this much money or whatever. And cause some people, I will want them to participate in the full thing. Cause like you practice anything consistently, it's going to start to become who you are. You're going to be a lot quicker to come back to gratitude if you've been thinking of, all right, I'm grateful I can do this, that I have this, etc. And on the 29th, it's not meant to be, all right, we're just working out. Nah, this is a celebration. This is a stamp. Yeah, it's going to be some, Storm. Hey, Storm is one of those guys. Like there was a bunch of videos on, that have gone viral of those guys in the gym, like lifting a couch while they're squatting.
Just random stuff.
You're like, what are you training for? That's Storm. He wouldn't do that, but he's run for 24 straight hours.
Which is insane.
He's lunged for a mile.
Insane.
Did the David Goggins workout every 4 hours for 48 hours. He did that one too. Yeah. His wife literally had to say, you can't do this anymore.
So the 29th, and I talked to Storm for the first time yesterday. We're definitely going to get him lined up. I want to do an episode at Excel.
Dude, he'll be fantastic.
We'd have a blast.
He hates talking on camera, but he's so smart. He's so smart.
6/29. So June 29th, that's the big day, but there's a full month thing, which again, we'll share this. I'm 100% starting a team.
Yeah,
there's a workout at 9 and 11.
9 and 11. We're going to have hopefully coffee there.
I got two options for you.
And
Grounds of Grace, a cup of Joe.
Laurel's there doing photos for us.
Yes.
We're gonna have DJ. Plenty of prizes, raffles. We have Radware. I'm wearing them, shouting them out because they're going to have a lot of prize. They want to
donate a flag. We're going to have you sign that ball if you don't mind and donate.
You're probably not going to leave empty handed. And yeah, everyone that's at that event, it's exclusive. It's 100 spots.
Yeah.
And you get, we're looking for that sponsor. We haven't put a sponsor
that's good to know.
On that shirt yet. We're not going to print these shirts out until like the last week before the event. So there's time.
Again, like the corporate support, but Gator fans are not. Spinal cord injuries are not. What you're doing, is this the first year doing this? Or
this is the first year doing this.
This could be.
I'm hoping this is going to be way bigger and more impactful than a golf tournament.
It will.
Yeah.
Man, that's a lot.
First year, dude. Yeah.
You're going to be, what's funny is you're like, like any event, you run through all these things. Speaking of events, the 100th episode, us dancing, my favorite video ever.
Heyo.
Yeah.
But June 29th, there's a workout at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. Got to register. We'll share this information.
Plenty of
form
vendors
a team.
There. Plenty of vendors there. We'll have food, protein, all that stuff.
We'll talk offline too. Obviously, there's a couple coffee truck options. However we can help.
Yeah.
And not just us, like everyone.
Yeah.
Because what you're doing is a gift, man. So, man, I hate when we run out of time. I do want to say my as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. That's my favorite line in all scripture. Thank you for being my
Yeah, man.
Patric Young, goodness gracious, that's what the hell just happened. Dude.
Let's go.
We can keep I don't know why. Yeah. Trey, it's just, why did I start doing that? I don't remember.
I don't know what it's.
Now it sticks. That's the outer time. That's what the hell just
I mean, it's pretty much
That's it.
Yeah.